Hello, in this video we're going to look at XDR automatic promotion and enrichment of alerts from NDR and EDR into SecureX. My name is Hannah Jabbour. I'm a leader technical marketing engineer in TDNR. This is the incident manager where incidents or alerts from secure endpoint and secure cloud analytics are pushed as high impact incidents only for specific alerts that are really impactful, which helps Sam, the security analyst, and Remi, the incident responder, to know exactly what happened, when it happened, and actually take action only on really important, impactful incidents. So the confirmed threat watch list is actually an event coming from secure cloud analytics, and you could see also another one from coming from secure endpoint. In this case, it's coming for a specific endpoint called LWR John Windows. So focusing on the confirmed threat watch list, we could look at different things in here, why this event was triggered and how. First of all, the description. We can see that there is MITRE Tactics and Techniques that are already mapped into this actual incident, and these are coming from the solution itself, which is SCA, where every single event is mapped into MITRE Tactics and Techniques. You can see the different events, why this actually happened. In this case, there is an observable, which is the IP 198.51.100.100 was the reason why when this system that we're going to see later on has actually triggered this event when it communicated to this IP, which is detected by global threat alerts within the Cisco intelligence or threat intel within SCA. So what you could see also is all these events were aggregated. The same thing happened for secure endpoint alerts in one single place. You don't have like 588 of those incidents. You have only one incident with all the events related to it. And on the overview page, you could see all the information. You could see the targets, who are the target participated into this incident, the observables that are related, bad IP, bad file hashes, or anything like that, the indicators of compromise, what they mean, could be coming from different solutions. Again, the MITRE Tactics and Technique, plus the sources, in this case, where this is actually coming from, or what product were participating to this. And then you could see the link reference, if there's any snapshots, any incidents, the severity of those events, and other information. This is considered everything that Remi needs to know in order to understand what happened. And also give him the ability to understand what is the scope of this. One other thing that happened automatically is the fact that this is automatically enriched, and this is why you see all these observables. So whenever an incident is actually high or critical in the incident manager, it's going to be automatically investigated and enriched with data across all your environment and all your integration. So we're going to look at one of those references and automatic investigations from the linked reference over here, and open up in a new page. Once it's open, we're going to see that it's this target 172 that ends with 232. It connected to multiple malicious IPs and suspicious IPs. They are all like gathered into one place in order to make the graph easier to read. I could expand this easily and focus on the graph. This is actually the public IP 388.11 is actually the public IP of this system. This is why it's linked to it. And you can see there is also that LWR John Windows has connected to this public IP, and also there is another suspicious file hash that connected to this IP, which is the public IP of that target. And part of the unknown 11 IPs, we could see that one of them is actually the IP that doesn't have a disposition. That's 198.51.100.100, which is the one that, based on the global threat analytics machine learning, were discovered that it's an actual bad IP. So here, what we could do is we see that there is a suspicious file. We could add it to the investigation and wait for it to load in order to view more and know more about this IP. Once added and the investigation loaded, we can start to see other information, that this actual file came through an email, and it has the email system provided us with a Cisco email ID that we can see, the message ID, the email itself, and it actually that there is other devices that contain the file itself. other than LWR John, and it actually communicated to multiple systems at the same time. From here, I mean, looking at this could be very suspicious. Typically, in this case, Sam will decide, what should I do about this? I need to respond. A couple of things could be done over here. Simply, we could start by maybe, okay, I see this is a bad IP, I want to block it on the firewall level. So I could actually use a policy control block globally, so it's going to block on every single firewall, or block it on Umbrella, maybe by using Umbrella web policy. Also, we could do that, or maybe I could go ahead and look at the file hash. I could add it to a verdict inside M4 endpoint and add it to custom detection to block it, or maybe I could actually start blocking the endpoints themselves. In this case, we have this endpoint that has actual an AMP installed on it, or a secure endpoint, and I could actually launch an isolation from here, or move it to a triage group. So those are different actions or responses option that Sam could actually take, or Remi could actually take in during the investigation. So we could also drill down more into this and get more investigation. So here I could get out of this view, for example, and see a little bit more information when I focus, for example, on the email, an email address, or on the message itself. I mean, I could see that it says your mid-year bonus is here. This is look like very suspicious email when it looked like a spam or a phishing email. So this is another case where you could actually start to drill down more by maybe looking back at the event inside SCA. So you could go back to the list of events from here and open up one of those events and say, I want to look back into Secure Cloud Analytics and see more and to understand what's happening. So once the alert detail is loaded, I could actually see all the info in here. Again, it's the same MITRE Tactics and Techniques that were seen on the incident manager, and also you could see all the details regarding the device, the outline. From here, these information are gathered either from SCA, from AWS, or other integration that Secure Cloud Analytics can do, and in order to get a lot more details. You could see even the applications that are running on this system. One thing, one good feature you could look from an SCA perspective to know more is either to look at device summary or even look at more action and pivot into Cloud Insights. In this case, I'm going to open both just to make it easier for us to look at things. Looking at device summary, you could see a lot of information over here on the device itself, including information coming from different sources like Secure Cloud Insight. Once pivoted into Secure Cloud Insights, we could see all the information related to this instance. One of the information is quite interesting is there is an actual finding saying that there is somebody who's performing brute force attack against this specific instance. Double click on this specific finding and you could see that this is coming from an AWS guard duty, and it states exactly the problem and which instance was actually affected. So let's go back into the actual threat response we had and the investigation, and we could see how the dots are connected. First, there is a brute force attack coming from outside on this public IP, which is the instance public IP. This is the internal IP of the same instance. And then because that brute force failed, what actually happened is the attacker dropped an actual malware using a phishing email. Typically, the weakest point in the network is going to click on that email. The file comes in and try to find multiple hosts inside the network in order to find the right one that have the ability to connect and to manage this instance internally. Once found, this was exactly how it happened, and this device has connected back to the target, and then the target started to act weirdly by trying to communicate to bad destination, maybe to exfiltrate data. So with this, we know now that Remi has the ability now to understand all the incident, exactly what happened, and Sam was able also to understand what he could do as responsive capabilities inside the solution. With this, we end our demo. We've seen how to leverage SecureX as an XDR solution today with using the NDR and EDR capability to automatically prioritize alerts that are critical as incident inside XSecureX, and the ability of the incident manager to automatically enrich and get investigation and data of these specific incidents for any analyst to be able to see all the related observables, sightings, and everything in order to have the ability to respond also to those incidents accurately. Hopefully this video has been informative for you guys, and tune in for others.